and welcome to another episode of Conversation with a Chef. I'm Jo Ritty and I love sharing with you the conversations I get to have with talented and passionate chefs. It's the backstory, if you will, to the food they're putting up. I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri Woiwurrung people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the unceded land where this conversation takes place, and I pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. From growing up in Port Melbourne, cooking alongside his Greek mother, to working across kitchens in Athens, France and Australia, Alex Meimetis' story has been shaped by movement, patience and an unwavering love of food. It's a story about learning by watching, earning trust over time and understanding that leadership, especially in a kitchen, isn't something you announce, it's something you show. Now heading up Koi Toi, set within one of Victoria's most historically complex sites, Pentridge Prison, Alex cooks in a way that reflects that path. We talked about learning on the job, moving between cultures and cuisines, bringing a team together, and the happiness that comes from creating something and seeing someone else enjoy it.
As a child, I always loved cooking, putting my hands in my mother's. I always liked moving around with food.
Yeah.
And always liked creating my own stuff as a kid. Like making a mess in the kitchen was a big thing for me back then.
Where did you grow up?
Port Melbourne.
Oh, I live in Port Melbourne.
Oh, really?
Now, yeah.
Oh, great. Love
yeah,
it.
wow, did you? Yeah.
Bay Street we lived in Bay Street and went to Knott Street Primary.
Okay.
For Park High.
Yeah.
Yep, then I moved overseas for a bit.
Yeah, right.
Did a bit of an expansion over there, then came back home. Yeah, great time.
Good place to grow up.
Oh, it was great. Back in the day, it was a bit rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit rough, but it was great.
I think it's still a bit rough again.
Oh, is it? It's a bit hard to get in there now. Yeah, that was great back then. Used to get down to the pier.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
So your mum was a good cook?
Yeah, she was a great cook actually. Her desserts were astonishing. They were great, fantastic. She had a Greek, northern Greek culture.
Yep.
Which they've got great pies and syrup kind of sweets.
Right.
So, and they've got very strong alcohol to go with that, like raki and things like that. So it was a crazy mixture going on over there, but it's very good.
Yeah.
Nice.
So would you help her in the kitchen? Or?
I would actually. At the start, a couple of little things to do, but then eventually, I learned a lot from my mother, and just started learning with more and more things, and just became part of what I'm doing today. It just never stopped. Yeah.
And was your dad from Greece as well?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Did you travel back as a family?
No, only for holidays.
Yeah.
Only for holidays. I think.
Do you have any memories of being in Greece when you were little?
Apart from the holiday, I've been there in '77, which basically I was a baby, but not many memories.
Yeah.
Just the beaches and the fish, to be honest.
Yeah,
I remember just going to the festivals, the Greek festival, go in the fields and getting the watermelon and things like that. And again, with food, the kebabs on the spits and all that, just crazy. It was good times then.
Yeah.
So,
and growing up, were you did you hang out with other Greek families and get together for food?
Well, the Greek gallows would be the must on Easter Day and Christmas.
Yeah.
Most of my family are on the Australian side. I've got my brother's wife, and we're all Anglo-Saxon.
Yeah.
So, but most of my friends would be just kids around the block and just hanging around, but not family-wise. Only on festival days and festive days and Christmas and Easter. That was about it. Yeah. But we'd hang around. We'd do the classic Greek party, the Greek festive feed, as you can say. Yep. We get the lamb on the spit and all the good stuff going on around that. So it was good times back then.
Yeah, that's awesome. And at what point did you think that you might like to get into hospitality?
Well, my father always had small kind of restaurants, and in Port Melbourne, and when he moved overseas, that's how I moved over for a few years. That's where I met my wife, and I stayed there for a few years and got in the hospitality business over there.
Where was that?
That was in Athens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
right,
so moving along, my dad closed a store and I just moved on to another store, opened a couple of restaurants over there.
Yep.
And basically one was a Southeast Asian one, which went quite good, and a beer club was the other part. So they had those things stainlessly. So yeah, I've just kept on going with cooking. I just kept on learning and learning and learning. Doing so, I went to France for a bit to do my apprenticeship because I need to learn a few things.
Yeah, because you learnt on the job before
yeah,
that.
That's right, yeah. So I went to Port Melbourne. I can't remember the name of the place. Apprenticeship was basically, I just did a lot of dishes back then, a lot of cleaning dishes. That was that was a big...
herbs.
Yeah, that's where I met my wife.
Yeah, oh, right.
And yeah, we just went back to Greece, and then I said, time to come back home. It was a good journey. It was good times over there. Business was going quite well. Then the economic kind of era hit.
Yeah.
In those days, it was just time to come back.
Yeah. So you got into Southeast Asian food quite early in your career then?
Yeah, I did. The reason why I got picked up by Shenzhen.
Yeah.
Always liked Asian food. I like Chinese, but I started with Chinese food. Like I just creating little plates, always going to Chinese restaurants, picking up bits and pieces. But when I saw the more Thai cuisine, well, it kind of sparked me up a lot more.
Yeah.
I liked the ideas they had behind the simplicity and the mixture of fresh vegetables with fish sauce and things, other ingredients they could use together. And really that kind of inspired me, and I just fell into Southeast Asia, which I actually made a store.
Yeah.
Go to a store overseas for that one.
Yeah.
Most of that kind of thing. It was good. It was an interesting time, and I learned quite a lot doing so. But people did respond quite good over there, up to a point where every start is good, then you move on to the next one. There's always something else to come up. It's not like Australia where you find places that keep their kind of background steady and they keep on working on the same cuisine. So there's a lot of pop-ups over there that work a bit differently, and they get kind of influenced a bit differently.
Yeah.
Though here in Australia, at home, you'll find more people are more kind of loyal to what they do.
I see. That's interesting. Yeah,
it is.
Because I've heard too that in Athens there's been a big renaissance of Greek food, but it's more of a modern Greek food.
Yeah. Well, you find exactly right. You find if you go here in Australia, right, you'll find your classic Greek food, and believe me, it's classic. You find your pita bread, you find your tzatziki, you find the classic. It's all classic. You go to Greece, it is a different scene out there. They work with different ingredients that you won't find in Australia.
Yeah, right.
Like they work with a lot of beans, chickpeas. They'll make it in gastro pots, which will be unbelievably tasty with a different way of cooking methods. It's just not the same. There's a different style of cooking in Greece.
So, and do you think then, because you're saying that they really like a pop-up and they like a lot of different things, does that mean that the dining public are quite different as well? So they've got a different influence on restaurants, on what people decide to do?
Apart from the Greek restaurants, which, as I said, they are quite strong, and they do say.
Yeah.
The other part, like if you find let's say international cuisine, you'll find that a bit more not so strong. Let's say they like to taste food. They like the big thing now. I was overseas last year. Big thing now is sushi.
Really?
They never have. I don't think sushi was everything over there, but now everyone's doing sushi. You find restaurants that are good restaurants and they're doing sushi on the side.
Yeah.
So these are the pop-up things that kind of don't mix, but they do happen in Greece. And
then I imagine with seafood and all that stuff that it would go quite well with. In Greece.
Yeah, it is exactly.
Yeah, wow.
But you find even classic restaurants that prioritise meat and more, let's say, cultural Greek cooking. You'll find that they'll put sushi inside the menu. So it's a bit of that's where it's a bit weird.
Yeah.
That's where I find it a bit not stable.
Right.
For some reason.
Yeah.
And I've seen that last few years I've been up there, because I usually go on holidays up there.
Yeah.
I like to spend a bit of time and move around the restaurant scene.
Yeah. I'm always fascinated by chefs who move around different restaurants and then different countries. So you're in different kitchens in different countries. When you first walk into a new kitchen, what are you first looking for? Like, how do you position yourself?
I just look at the ingredients.
Yeah.
First thing I'll do. I walk in. What are they cooking? What's their base? And that's where you get an idea of what is really actually going on. You can find the meats, or the way they're cured, or you find the ingredients of the spices, and you kind of put one and one together, and you can't imagine what's coming out of here. And this is the first thing. It's just a lot of questions, a lot of thoughts, and a lot of mixing and matching, and see how will this work.
Yeah.
And first thing I'll just start combining, to be honest, and seeing what is actually going on in this kitchen. Yeah. Why has it got this unique amount of people, patrons coming in? For what reason? Is it the seafood? Is it the cured meat? And there's a way they cook it. Basically, I look at how things are created. That's where you start from. I look at the ingredient straight away.
Yeah.
And that's where you get your idea of how things work out.
Yeah.
That's how I've been working always.
And you were recently working in Geelong.
Yep.
And you're head chef. So when was the first time you were head chef? What was your first head chef role?
In Australia, first head chef was at Koi restaurant. That's in South Melbourne. It was a Turkish place.
Oh.
Then head chef at Evening Star.
I love Evening Star.
Love it. I was the executive chef and doing the head chef position also, but executive from both restaurants. Clay was amazing. Hassan's amazing. Yeah. Renan is amazing. Have you met Renan?
No.
Great person.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, awesome. They did one at Highway Lane. That's still going all right. But the one at the market's amazing. Yeah.
Great, and I feel like and it's a great way to order and eat. Like I love that kind of menu. It's so good.
Yeah. Really.
And being right amongst all that market vibe is.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I don't know why I don't go there more often. Actually, I need to get there. But then you went down to Geelong. So my question was going to be, it's a bit similar to the previous question, but when you come in as a head chef and there's already a team, or I guess it's different. If you've worked your way up, you're kind of part of the team and then you become head chef. But if you come in new and they've appointed you as the head chef of an existing team, how do you get that team on side, and and what are your leadership?
When you come in, you kind of go in there as a trial, not a trial as a position, but they look at you as a trial. Yeah. So the team there will kind of doubt you. First thing is that they'll doubt you. Yes. Unfortunately, it's a new team. It's about how you win that team.
Yes.
So it's about show them straight away, what can you do? So what I did, I actually came in and I said, okay, there's the menu, I've seen the menu, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to make this menu for you right here, and I want you guys to follow these exact procedures. I've already worked on most of the things, I've already done most of the plates there. It's about showing your capabilities to the team and getting them on board. Talking to them or putting your position as a head chef in front of someone is not enough, not in the hospitality industry, because there are a lot of people that have got a lot of expectations from themselves, and they try to show that to people that are in higher positions, and sometimes it will not work as let's say, you'll find your little tears and little bits that won't work as a team. So you've got to make sure that you show your capabilities when you do go into that restaurant, and that's how I proved myself at Chin Chin. Though I did have the background and the abilities, without having to show that, I always like to put example down to everyone. That's what I do at Temple Kitchen. I go in, I just create and show my abilities to any part of the team. If that's the executive chef or that's the commis chef, I'll sit there and I'll go through it with them. Yeah. And that's how you win people. That's how I've won my people in any kitchen that I've been into. Yeah. It's about showing your abilities and showing what you can do.
That's right.
And creating things that they created before, but in a way that wows them.
Yeah.
That's what I.
And then ongoing, what do you do to keep that that team together and consistent? So you want that fine, it's a fine line between respect and camaraderie, isn't it?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people that will go that try to keep a more friendly relationship with our staff. I'm a person that I do not like to, okay, we're going to go out and have drinks at the end of the night. So I try to keep a distance on that.
Yeah.
Though I am very open to discussing problems and that do occur in the workplace.
Yeah.
And if that comes down to the personal issue, I will look into that also, providing team with let's say PE or anything that we can help. Like at Geelong, we had customer people experience to help out with any problems we used to have with our staff or any personal problem we have or any economic problem they might have. So as a team, we work together, and that kind of worked out a lot. But I would not keep it to keep a kind of good, respectful relationship. I would not hang out with my team, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's interesting.
There's a line where you can really interact with staff members up to a point. When you're in a position as a head chef, and basically my position at Geelong was more as an executive chef. We used to have the whole line of restaurants up there. I used to create all the menus for game days and everything. Yeah. So I was also in line with Highmark, which also had a few restaurants in there. So we used to combine our kitchens together and make on game days just make menus out. And we used to work on that. But it used to be with me and the executive chef together working on those combinations. But always open to discuss things with people. Always open to have to help out individually and as a team on the weaker in the workplace. And that was more personal. I was always there. It's a character thing, but you need to keep a separate line between that. I wouldn't be able to hang out with them on a daily basis. No.
Yeah.
We do that maybe on an Easter on a Christmas Eve party. These are the one-offs.
Yeah, that's interesting, and I see the point for sure. And then when you come to somewhere like Koi Toi and it's brand new, were you part of the setup of the kitchen and menu?
The menu, yes. All the setup menu was mine. All the setup of the team was mine. The place was already being set up. I just came and did a few tweaks inside the kitchen with equipment and combi ovens and where I needed and what I needed.
Yeah. Are you happy with the flow?
Yeah, I actually am. It's been a bit of a rough ride at the start.
Yeah. Because
every new place has got its ups and downs.
When did it open? February?
It was the 17th of February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very new.
Yeah, quite new.
Yeah.
But the response from people has been enormous. A lot of people coming in.
Who's coming? Is it locals or is it people? People are coming from.
There's a lot of people come from Melbourne.
Yeah.
They've heard about the place, and people. There's a lot of publicity going on too. So, but locally, you've got quite a few locals coming through, and you've seen repeats of that, and that's very comforting.
Yeah.
We worked on a menu that we've kind of worked. Also, I've changed a bit of the way we do our kind of fusion food because. Demographically, we're in a more Muslim area.
Ah, interesting.
So we've worked about making, we try to not cross-contaminate pork with cooking it on different fryers or try to keep alcohol out of our sushi rice. So we've got some halal options, quite a few halal options working.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so people have taken it really, really positively.
Yeah.
And it's been a really good outcome for us. But, we also like to have everybody in. We want to provide this experience and showcase our food to everyone. So we try not to limit to who can and who can't.
That's great. And I read an article where before Koi Toi opened and you were talking about it as playing with tradition and that the menu's a bit of a playground. So what did you mean by that?
Well, you take your classic Japanese cuisine, you'll go for your a lot of sushi, a lot of fish. You'll go for your let's say sashimi and everything. We try not to go towards that direction. We do have a lot of sashimi, a lot of things that we do. These are classic Japanese, but we play around with ingredients. We like to use ingredients from all over the world. We'd like to use ingredients from here. We're like myrtle from Australia. We'd like to use mustic from overseas. We'd like to use a bit of saffron from Spain. We like to use a lot of ingredients to kind of mix things up and give a bit of a kick to what we do.
Right. Yeah.
And this is why this based on the menu. If you go through the menu, you'll see a lot of little tweaks on our food and on how we kind of represent of what we're trying to establish here. It's basically highlighting the Japanese cuisine with what can be infused and how we can tweak that up. In the perspective of people kind of say, well, this goes, I can do this, I can eat this the way it is. Interesting. We can kind of enjoy it in a more, not so traditional way.
Yes.
More of a new modernised way of doing things.
Yeah, so it's a huge menu.
I think it is a bit of a big one. Yeah, these are the settings behind. So,
wow, okay.
So yeah,
that's what I would do. I don't like deciding. I'd rather someone
just go for your set menu.
Just feed me, yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the apart from that? So what would you get if you got a set menu? How do you work through it? It's the ideal way of experiencing koi toi.
So basically, you'll get your sashimi, you get your protein, which we've got the mushrooms for the first one, the chicken wings on the second one. I'm trying to read it out here.
Yeah, glasses.
Yeah, and then we've got our sticky pork, which is quite a
delicious. That looks really good.
Yeah, amazing.
And butter chicken, Kyoto butter chicken.
Yeah, which basically uses a lot of the spices and Japanese curry into a butter chicken.
Nice.
Which is a nice different way of looking at a few things.
I like that.
Yeah, so this is what we're trying to offer to our customers, and it's just play around with what we can kind of do differently.
Yeah.
But keeping in the line of Japanese cuisine.
Yeah, it sounds so good. And lamb shank ukon.
Ukon, yeah. So ukon is a kind of curry they use with coconut cream.
Oh yeah.
So it's got a distinctive taste with unami inside. It's very, very distinct. And then I've got the shank as a more European or Australian shank, let's say. And I kind of mix that up together, and it comes up with your crispies and fried noodles, and it's quite a unique dish. People are quite interested in that one too.
And I bet the koi toi waffle sundae looks amazing.
Yeah, that's. Well, we had to come up with it.
Amazing as well. Yeah. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, there's a lot of the ice creams are amazing. The waffles just a straight up waffle, sugary, not too sweet, and kind of crunchy, and it comes out good for the customer. It's quite a big winner. Panna cotta is also a very good one. It's just a mix and match. So you go to your, let's say, cheaper option, which is quite filling. We'll serve one sashimi between two people. They'll get one. And the thing is, you can eat as much as you like. If you're not still hungry, have to order more.
Yeah.
It's just an ongoing
That's
menu.
Great. And is there something with the company that owns it? They have vineyards as well.
Oh, that's Pentridge Vineyards. No, they were actually supposed to supply us with wines this year.
Yeah, but
they are doing it at this towards the end of the year. They just falling behind on their manufacture on their wines. And we are in contact with them. So Pentridge Wines
might
is
be
something.
An earlier story I read. Yeah.
Yeah. But we are in contact. We are moving forward with them.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That'll be good though. It's good to have a wine company looking after you.
Always.
Then you can,
it just gives it a different aesthetic to what we're doing, and also it'd be great to have some Tasmanian wines in a good area. Would be fantastic.
Well, as a Kiwi, I have to say that Tasmanian wines are pretty close to good as Kiwi wines.
Not as good. I'll take that. But Kiwi, which part of New Zealand?
I'm from Christchurch.
Wow.
Yeah.
You often go back?
I used to go back quite a lot, but not so often now. But I've been here for 15 years, so
okay.
Cool.
That's all right.
I still call it home, but but this
always
is home.
Always will. Yeah, home is home. It's good to have both homes, isn't it?
That's right.
That's how I look at it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and it's amazing looking out at these old buildings and knowing that this is on land where Ned Kelly was and prisoners and so on.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Do you still get that sense when you come, or do you start to lose that novelty of it?
Every day I come, I usually come from the parking, so I've kind of lost that feeling.
Yeah.
You're totally right. But when I used to park in the front, come in front, I'm always in awe about what I'm seeing, especially at night when it's all lit up. It is amazing. But also did another tour inside, and I saw the actual prison cells. It is just another feeling. It is. I think this is a very unique place. All restaurants here, like even Blue Dog and everything, and they've got quite a big part of what they're doing there too. It's a different kind of feeling you have of where you are, and that kind of makes what we're doing here a bit unique. Also, you feel like you're in another era.
Yes.
So it is like people come and they say, "Wow, we love what's going on here. We like what we see. We feel comfortable." It's just knowing what was history and what is now, combining these two things together somehow, gives you another kind of feeling.
Well, it's a beautiful fit out in Koi Toi, and I feel like you've got the neon signs and stuff, so it's very modern and like nice lines and everything. Yep. And then you've got that juxtaposed with the bluestone walls and all all of that history. I mean, quite apart from the fact of the people that used to live on this land before the colonisers came, but just to think about. Yeah, some of those stories. I mean, my partner Charlie and I got caught up in a story about. I think it was the last person to be
inside.
No. I think he was. I can't remember his name anyway. He was someone he was in for theft, but he tried to escape.
Okay.
And so then he got put in for a longer time. So he tried to escape again, and there was some kind of kerfuffle, and a guard got killed. And he was the last person in Australia to be sentenced to death. Oh. And the story is that perhaps it wasn't even him that shot the guard, but they just needed someone to be the last person. It's actually a terrible story, but he was in Pentridge. But so I was walking in today going, oh my God, I was remembering that whole thing and thinking, I wonder where he ran from, But there's probably a lot of stories.
That'll put you in a lot of thought. 100%.
Yeah, that's right.
My stories, I actually remember this place as a prison.
When did it close?
I think it was back in 1987.
Wow, still then.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I remember this place as a prison.
Yeah.
And I'll say it. I actually came and saw someone here when I was a kid. Like, I think it was one of my brother's mates, and we actually came for a visit.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's like a Paul Kelly song.
Yeah, something like that.
Making gravy, yeah.
So anyway, well, I know I'll put that out anyway. So
yeah. Well, that's incredible, isn't it? I sort of think about it as being like from a long time ago, but the 80s. Well, actually, for some people, the 80s is a long time ago. Didn't seem that long ago to me, but yeah.
I don't remember. It was back then. It might have been when I was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a kid.
Wow.
Back in those days, you were allowed to go in anywhere. So
It's amazing.
I was young. I can't remember the year back then, but I remember it was open then. So.
Well, it's amazing what they've done with it. It's a really beautiful precinct, isn't it? And there's more to come, I guess, with all those cranes out there.
I think they've got 2 more apartments going over there. And have you ever been inside the actual part of the Adena area?
Yeah, well, I feel like I went to a wine tasting.
Okay, yeah.
In there, and they were keeping the wine in the cells because it was really good temperature.
Yes,
I've been into those ones. Yeah.
It's amazing. They've got a chapel up there too. They've got the swimming pool on the bottom. There's a lot going on. So it's just wanted.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, yeah, great place.
So all this just kind of combines to what people come and they've got that feeling. They come in and they go, well, we're in a different area. It's a great area. So
your lunch and dinner?
Lunch and dinner, yeah.
In 7 days?
7 days.
Wow.
That's amazing. That's a bit of a hard one, but yeah.
That's it. Fantastic. Well, thank you. I usually finish on this question. You've had a lot of experience working all kinds of different places, and now you're here in a prison.
Yeah, that's exactly right. 7 days a week. I think you got that right. Exactly.
What would your advice be to a young person starting out as a chef?
I would say if you love being a chef, it's something you want to do. Follow your dream, but make sure you don't listen to the media and what's going on with all these master shows. it's not what you think it is. It's not all glamour and all, I'm going to go there and I'm going to, well, there's a lot of hard work behind it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hard work. You've got to slowly really pick yourself up and slowly move step by step. It's you don't become. You could be a great chef, but you don't get acknowledged if you don't do the hard work. And you've got to have a lot of patience. So that's what I would say to you. You've got to think carefully of what you're getting yourself into. You've got to have a lot of patience. If you haven't got patience, it's not going to work out. You need plan. I've had a lot of patience in my life, and I've still follow what I loved from the first day.
What do you love about it?
I love good food. I love creating good food and seeing the person eating that food enjoying it so much, which will complement my. This is my. I love taking ingredients and making amazing stuff with it. I love to create and seeing that in the other person's taste buds, just showing that they love it. That's all. That's my happiness in what I do. Yeah.
Perfect.
That's what my mother did. Love to please people. I love to please people too. That's my idea of cooking.
Thanks, Alex.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Conversation with a Chef with Alex Meimetis at Koi Toi in the Pentridge Prison Complex. You can check out all the goodness on Instagram at koitoi.pentridge. That's KOITOY.pentridge. And if you'd like to hear more stories from other chefs, I'm also on Instagram at Conversation with a Chef. You can read this chat online at www.conversationwithachef.com. And of course, you can follow me on Apple and Spotify podcasts. I would absolutely love it if you told a friend about my chats. I still think it's the best way to get these delicious stories out into the world. Once again, thanks so much for listening. Have a great day and bon appetit.